Alrighty, welcome back. Remember, if you're getting something out of these videos, please subscribe. I'm not very good at saying that all the time. Let's jump over to our form TB. If you didn't take the first tutorial, add a form, call it form or FRM TB to the project. Go over to the programs file, programs.cs, application run, and change that to form TB. We need to add 2 more buttons to this form to open up our new forms. Just copy the 2 that are there. Change the text at least in these to G server. I'm going to change the names also though. To G server and G client. Double click on both the new buttons. So for G server, new form G server, that's show. For G client, new form G client, that's show. Okay, toolbar is done. Go ahead and shut all that down. Jump over to form G client. On the game tab on the toolbar, click on the game tab, open up the toolbox, find the picture box in the toolbox, double click to add it to the games tab, right click on the picture box, rename it PB or PB game something, and change the dot to fill. Okay. Now let's jump over here. Just double click on the refresh button, go back to the form, double click on each of the buttons, and double click on the port. Now I believe that's all we have to really, we have to add the form closing. So select the form somewhere, go to the properties, find form closing. Where is it? Oh, it's on the tab. Okay, my mistake. Click on the form on the title bar, and form closing is right there. Now go back over to the game tab on the picture box. I believe I have it on the, hold on one second here. It's a PB mouse click is what I used, which makes sense. Okay, that should give us all of that. We have a few properties, or a few fields up here. For in our form GC client, we'll have the GC client class. We have to handle that. We're going to speed our timer up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use bitmaps instead of drawing directly to the picture box control. And I need to know which bitmap I used last. We have one more property to add. Hilarious. Okay, go back to the form client, go to properties, and we also need load. My mistake. Yeah, I do like these form to be up towards these constructor, and I like load to be above closing. That's just my pet peeve. Okay, in the constructor of form GC client, mgc client is equal to a new one. bitmap 0 is equal to a new while, yeah, Microsoft. New bitmap 800 by 800, and so is BMP1. In our form load, well, we're not actually using threading in the form, so I guess we don't need to fully resolve that name of the timer like we had to before. Let's put our interval at 500. There we go. Now form closing, stopper timer, and tell the GC client that it is closing. In our timer, message timer, set the text to its system message. Set the receive text to the user message. Clear out both of these. Set our text equal to our username and we will need another function here at the very bottom. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. So scroll down to the bottom, right above, well, right below the mouse click will be fine. I take that back, we're not that far along yet. We haven't put that in there yet. Okay, so my mistake. Go to the button refresh. Let's fill it out. It's kind of nuts. I have not done a scaled down version. I didn't try out the scaled down version of this. I went to take the bull by the horns, so to speak, when I was developing it. So kind of trying to keep from getting ahead of myself here. Okay, hold on. You're messing with me now. Did I not give this a name? I tricked myself and renamed it. So this one change to that. Alrighty. To listen, just tell the GC client to listen. In the port change, pretty much the same thing we've done before, except we're setting out the GC client, and but we have a few other things to add in here. Now that we're working with a secondary class, we need to change. We need to have a text change on our send message. It will not know what to send. And when our IP address changes, we need to have a text change on the IP address. And when the username changes, how did I? Did I not leave? Did I miss some code? Yes, I did. Okay. Back in GC client, we need to add another property called username. Okay. And now we need to set that equal to our TV username. And on our button users, I did not double click on that. We don't have any, we will not have more than one user right now, but let's go ahead and put this in here. And we're just going to pump it out to GC received. If you want to, you can add another text box for this later on. That should do it for our GC client for right now. We have a lot more to add to it later, but it will go fastly. Okay, let's jump over to the GC server. I'm going to go ahead and try to put both of these in one video just to make things a little bit simpler. So, back on the GC server, double click on the refresh button, double click on the IP address, double click on the port, double click on the send, double click on the listen, right click on the form title bar, go to the lightning bolt, add load, add form closing. I'm just going to move these up to here. So we will have a preview in the server form, of what's going on in the game. It will not be able to interact right now. In the form constructor, initialize the server, and I am going to go ahead and add some users. I'm going to add 5 of them. They'll be very similar. Getting ready for the next class or the next video after our simple test. I just copy that and paste it 4 more times. Or 5 or 6, I don't care. Add as many users as you want. Give them a position under 800. There we go on that. Now we need to initialize both of our bitmaps. Give it 500 for that now. 500 will be fine for the moment. Did I not name? Yes, it's TBIP. TBIP. Okay. Down to our timer tick. TB system.text. Not very much going on there. Tell it to start listening. There's a refresh button. clear out our servers. And there we go. All right, let's set all of our class properties. I guess you could maybe have used a singleton for the server, but our client, I don't understand how that would help anything. Someone suggested that to me. Maybe I just didn't get the suggestion, but they're running on 2 different machines and 2 different memory threads. I just don't think that would work. I think that goes over a lot of people's heads, because you normally develop all this code in one project, and you really don't think about this is in 2 different projects. So no. With the send button, we send, not in the TB send. So in this case, I actually done it a little bit different. I actually put, I'm actually sending with the message, to send the message instead of setting the property, just for the heck of it. I like to show 2 different ways of doing the same thing. We're going to run our project. We're going to do a basic test of it. IP addresses are great. Listener started. Server test. GC client. We're going to listen up. One client is connected. B. There it is. Server test. There it is. We've got the basics done. Okay, so let's go over and get our very rudimentary game set up and watch our ellipses jump around the screen. It really will get the idea in your head of how to keep track of your players, all the people that are playing, and where they're at, and how to send the information back and forth between the 2 of them. The magic really is in binary reader and binary writer in the memory stream. So, God bless. If you got something out of this, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.